What's up, people? What's up, people? What is up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of SML Podcast with my illustrious co-host. What is up, my good friend Project Storm? What's going on, man?
Man, I'm good, man. It's better than saying co-horse like I do. For some reason I always say co-horse, man.
Co-horse.
You know what I mean? But I guess we can be considered some thoroughbreds out here, man, trying to break this news down for y'all. It's a lot to cover as
Facts.
usual, and we always seem to run out of time. So we're gonna try to do a little bit better than last time. That's our goal for each show. You know what I mean? Try to do a little bit
Try,
better than
man.
last
Give it our
time to
best shot.
get everything that we want to cover out there to y'all. But other
Absolutely.
than that, man, I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Trying to, get these topics together. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some fire stuff that happened this week in the week of Stadia. As it says on the thumbnail, Stadia did a clapback, y'all. They clapped back this week. They said, y'all, we ain't got no RPGs, or no, or Xbox, you got all the RPGs. Word? It's like that. Hold my beer. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a good thing to see. But with that said, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. We're gonna fix the chat view on the screen as well. But we got, of course, Christopher Torres in the house, Cloud Gamer 201, the homie Ray Sherrod in the house. We also got Zero Games for Me. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank y'all so much. All right. With that said, let's hop right into it. Let's pay these bills, man, because we got a lot of stuff to cover in a little bit amount of time. Um, let's talk about let's pay these bills first. I was going to get into the games, but let's pay the bills. First and foremost, you got today SML Podcast, the show co-hosted by Project Storm and myself. This is the show where it's interactive with y'all. We talk about the latest and greatest in gaming news. Stadia may be at the core, depending upon what the news is, but we talk about the latest and greatest in the gaming news for the community. This airs every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Yang Meets Yang of Gaming, which is co-hosted by Project Storm, Snow Bunny, and the homie Rome Rush. Shout out to Rome Rush. He had a hell of a Twitter thread this week, man, educating fools on Stadia. My PlayStation guy, educating fools on Stadia. Can you imagine that? If you want to see all that greatness there across the board, these people are wise in their gamer lineage. You know what I'm saying? Check them all out. Tuesdays, every Sunday. Tuesdays. Did I say Tuesdays every Sunday? Golly. At 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. Check them out on Snow Bunny Gaming.
got to do better, man. You
Hey,
got
Storm,
to do better, man.
I know you had something to say. What? You can't fire me because we ain't on your channel today. Hey, Tuesdays every Sunday. We got to get the merchandise together, Storm, so we can put that on the t-shirt. Next up is SSC Podcast. That is where we talk all things Stadia every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on
and
this channel, right? Last but
hey,
not
man,
least,
hold on,
yes,
wait.
sir.
Before you get into that, man, it still says starting soon on the okay, it just kicked in. My bad. It just kicked
Okay.
in. It just kicked in. My fault. I was watching the delete. You're good. I just wanted
Oh,
to find
okay.
something else
Oh
on
no,
YouTube
that's all
to
right. That's
okay. All right,
I
you
want to
good
make sure.
now.
He said I want to make sure something's going right. Golly,
Yeah, man.
Tuesdays every Saturday. Tuesdays every
I'm trying
Saturday. All right, now we got the
trying to get
chat.
you. I'm trying to get you out of here,
Ooh,
man.
hold on. What's going on here? Why is this? This is cutting up, y'all. I'm sorry. We're trying to get the chat up here, but now it ain't liking the chat. Be refresh. All silky.
It's all good. It's
All good.
all good.
If we didn't have these technical difficulties, we wouldn't have a show. Um, Press this page anyway. And then last but not least, definitely is the show that's on hiatus until the first week of April, until next week. That is the Commission Podcast, where we talk all things gaming. So definitely tune into that every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the MM2K channel. And as a continued note on SML, this show airs either on this channel or Project Storm's channel. Definitely subscribe to Project Storm's channel so you don't miss an episode, because it's a lot more well put together than it is here. You know what I'm saying? When Storm is hosting it. And with that said, let's segue into what we've been playing. My homie Project Storm, what have you been playing this past week, my good friend?
Bro, I've been playing so much, man. But a lot of Dirt 5. That might catch some people by surprise, man. But I've been playing so much Dirt 5. I played it 3 days in a row since it launched the other day, and I will be playing it today as well. I got a chance to put the Stadia version up against the RTX 3080 version and the Series X version, and it held up very well. And it just led me to think a lot of different thoughts. And I'm not talking Stadia like Gen 2 and none of that next gen Stadia upgrade talk and all that we used to do, right? No, I'm just saying, like, it just feels like, first of all, shout out to Codemasters. There is something that they have to knock out. They have to knock out this freezing issue that happens at random times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's on the Stadia side or if it's on the game side or whatever. But I did hop over to F1 2020 yesterday in the stream I did, and the same type of like freeze happened. I'm not sure what it is, but that's the only thing that's preventing that game from having like a solid 9 or higher score for me, because it's fun as hell, man. I think that's what these games should be scored on. Like when you put time into them, how fun are they? Do they keep you captivated, entertained? You know what I'm saying? Do they make you want to play them nonstop? And that's, to me, what the making of a great game is all about. I don't care what nobody's review scores are. I don't care what nobody's opinions are. Because some people can tell you that a game is trash or something without even touching the controller to play
Exactly.
it. So I just try to put my time into the game, man. Try to give y'all the most thorough breakdowns and thoughts that I can. And that's that. So I played that. I played some Call of Duty last night. It's Double XP. Shout out to was it? Hey, it might have been. I forgot who it was, but I know. I do know that Zero Games for me has been around for all those streams, man, and I appreciate him and other people that have stopped by. Sean L was in there. Some other people stopped by, showed some love, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And look, somebody said that it was Double XP, so I hopped on that Call of Duty yesterday, the Black Ops Cold War. I finally got the game running, man, at 120 hertz on Series X. I finally got it working. It was smooth. It was fun. It makes me want the game more and more on the Stadia platform. One day, I won't have to talk about that any longer. Other than that, I played some PUBG last night. I don't know, when it comes to these console gamers, man. I don't know. Some people, I feel like people are aimbotting at times, man. Some funny stuff happened. If you go watch the beginning of that PUBG stream that I did last night, it's just some janky stuff was going on, man. But I in the fourth game, I was able to get myself together. I got some kills, and I died an honorable death. I could just tell you that much. And it was fun, man. It was always fun to jump back on PUBG. What else did I get on, y'all? I jumped into some Grid during the Dirt 5 stream. I played some.
Okay,
what else did I play? I don't know. But those were the main games that I played, because as y'all know, I play so many games. It's hard to keep up sometimes. But yeah, man.
Bro
so that's
had 3
just a little
streams
bit.
yesterday, I think. I think he had like 3 streams within an hour. I was like, wow.
I don't play around, man. The Dirt's been taking most of my time. I really, I don't know what else to say. I like the game, y'all. Even with the issue at first, because you know how we treated Serious Sam, man. Serious Sam, like it was just like, oh no, this is not ready for the stage yet. It's not ready for me to support it quite yet. Not in the state that it was in. Now, let me touch on this, and I know we want to get into the show, man, but I think this is important for the people because some people were asking me, Project Storm, man, is the game worth $60 right now? Dirt 5 on Stadia.
Yeah, definitely. Get into it.
Bro. I said no to them if the issue was still going to persist that I've been seeing and that other people have been seeing. Like that freeze issue might be annoying enough for some people to say $60 is a lot of money, man. I work hard for my money. I don't want to see no freeze issues happening and stuff. But for me, normally that would be the case. But for some reason, the game, when it works well, 60 FPS, what looks like 4K resolution, competing with the next gen Series X and the 3080, because it definitely competes with the 3080 as well, y'all. I think that's enough for me to say, okay, maybe they can iron this out. I'll give them a couple weeks to see if they can knock this out, because the game runs flawlessly at times. I don't have the freezes all the time. It's just a weird random issue. But for me, the game was worth the 60 because, like Cyberpunk, I could sit on the game and wait for it to mature, wait for it to get polished up, like I did with Horizon Zero Dawn and other games, man. God of War, I just buy them. I support the developers that I love. I sit on the game gets better over time, like a Doom Eternal, and then I'm having a hell of an adventure. But that's how I feel, man.
I want to give a special shout out. I mean, the entire chat is blazing right now. Do us a huge favor. Let people know that we're live, because I did a horrible job this morning of doing the pre-notifications and stuff like that. But if you could, let everybody know that we're live. However, I want to give a special shout out to my good brother, Holsey22. Holsey been around since MM2K was busting it up, chopping it up every day on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that remember that, rocking it out with your boy on Division 2 or whatever else I was playing. What I used to play, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, right? Whole C, we was up there chopping it up, man. Been a big time supporter of everything wherever I go. Love to see you here, man. Love you, brother, as always. He was there yesterday. This is a good segue into what I was doing. I was playing Outriders. Y'all know I love Outriders. I love that damn game. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I done told y'all on Twitter, I got to tell my kids and my wife there's going to be no birthday presents this year. There's going to be no anniversary gift. I got to buy Outriders everywhere. And now I might even be buying Outriders on PlayStation 5 just because that's how much I love it. I was playing it on PlayStation 5 yesterday. My brother Holsey was there with a bunch of older supporters. It's like, where you been at, MM2K? I had to tell them, like, look, y'all don't understand, man. I'm on this cloud gaming thing, and I'm loving Stadia. I'm trying to tell y'all that this is the real deal Holyfield. It may not be a premier platform yet. That's my take on it. But it got a lot of things that these premier platforms don't have that makes it better to stream, all that other stuff. My brother Holsey said, give me the link. I'm there. And he lived up to his word. Holsey,
that's what's up.
Love you, good brother. Thank you for joining us, man. We're going to have a hell of a show for you, because we not only talk about state and cloud gaming, we talk all things gaming. We're going to talk about that Xbox indie developer show at the end of this show. You know what I'm saying? And also, this is a live interactive show for those y'all that don't know that are coming in late. At some point during the show, we're going to open up phone lines. There's viewer mail. If you go to pntsnetwork.com, you can leave a voice message or a video message on the homepage, and we'll read it live on air. Whole bunch of great stuff happening, but definitely hit that hunchback arrow below to let people know that we're live. And if we don't catch you in the chat, because we'll be chopping it up and going over our notes and all that other stuff, if we don't catch you in the chat and you got something that you want us to talk about, hit that super chat button below. Let us know. We'll get right into it. All right. With that said, let's do simply that, man. Storm, I know we were talking this morning about these upcoming games, trying to look over the week in totality, man. I know that 9 to 5 Google had their Google Spotlight, and they had a highlight on some of these games. You want to talk about what those games are that are either here on the platform or ones that are coming?
Which one are you talking about now? Because I was watching something.
Oh no. The what's that? The 9 to 5 Google article where they
on the games that just recently. Okay, so like a Dirt 5. You know what I mean? Exactly. That I just discussed, y'all. Another one was the let me see. I think I have it right here. Murder by Numbers. Murder by Numbers is a game that I really don't have on my radar. It doesn't seem like it's going to be my type of game. It's like a visual novel. But shout out to Snow Bunny Gaming, who's the co-host of the YMYOG podcast that we do tomorrow on Sundays at 2 Eastern time. She's always telling me about these visual novels, and I've heard and seen her play a few of them. And they're cool. They're cool. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be for every gamer, and they're not for me. Like the Murder by Numbers is not for me, but it's still a game that we need to come to the platform. And MM, I know you'll get into why a little bit later on during the show, so I don't want to spoil that. But Murder by Numbers is definitely one of those games. Dirt 5 already dropped. Hell of a game. Check out the videos, y'all, over on my channel, man. Project Storm, I do 4K content. You'll know when you find Project Storm, because there's a few other Project Storms out there, right? But you'll know when you find the right one. And I need to do a little name change or something. That might be happening in the near future, so people know exactly how to get to the 4K and 8K crispy content, So But that's one, Dirt 5. And then the other one was Kaze and the Wild Mask. Now, Kaze and the Wild Mask was a game that when I first heard the title, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a game for the kids. It's going to be a good family type game. My son might look at this one and say, damn, that's kind of cool. It reminds me of Mario and Sonic.
Yeah.
But then I saw gameplay of Kaze and the Wild Mask, and I was like, yo, I could see myself playing this damn game. Easily see myself playing the game. It's a side-scrolling platformer, and it reminded me of like a Sonic, you know what I mean? Or a Mario or other games, that other great platformers that already come before this game or whatever. It's something that I'm keeping my eye on. I can see why. I know some people were really hype about it. John Scar, shout out to him. I know he was going to do like a stream. I don't know if that happened or not, but I know I saw some type of advertisement from him about Kaze and the Wild Mask. And when you go and check that gameplay out, if you came from a Mario, Super Mario Brothers or something like that, then you might be interested in the game, because I thought it was clean. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was cool. So I don't know. That's a big one, man. But I know you got more. There's another big event that happened or whatever, that a couple of them really, and we'll get into them, man. But those 3 games right there were the games that were highlighted on 9 to 5 Google that I did check out. Shout out to 9 to 5 Google. Y'all can go over and check that out. You know what I'm saying? If you need to.
And I got the article up right now, Kaze and the Wild Mask available now. Yeah, a lot of people are enjoying that, the platformer and stuff like that. I'm not the biggest platformer, gamer, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
But did you do Mario? Did you do the Super Mario?
I did Mario.
Well,
hell yeah, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That was the B's G's back then. You know what I'm saying? But me, old MM2K, I've graduated to just shooting and popping and stabbing people. You know what I'm saying? I've matured a lot. I've matured into just popping and killing people in the streets of New York. You know what I mean? Or after the apocalypse on Outriders soon. So no, these are fun games. It's in a vein similar in a lot of ways to Wonder Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. So definitely check this out. It's getting a lot of kudos from people. And I think the most important thing, Storm, is that this game dropped day and date on Stadia with the platform. There's a theme with today's show that we're going to talk about. Whether these are games that me and Storm are personally going to play or not, there is a common theme with with today's show that we're going to talk about once we wrap this up in a nice little bow. But moving right along, there is another set of games that came out, Storm, that was big for the platform. And what were those games? They were a bunch of JRPGs that hit the platform, that hit Stadia. And this is another article by our good friends at 9 to 5 Google. Let me see if I can pronounce this right, because I don't want Snow Bunny coming over and hitting me with a cake pan. Ys and the Legend of Heroes, 2 beloved JRPGs coming soon. There's more than 2 of them. There's 4 altogether, but they're highlighting 2 of them here on the Stadia. On 9 to 5 Google. The article reads: NIS America has announced today that 4 games from their 2 beloved JRPG franchises, Ys and the Legend of Heroes, are coming soon to Google Stadia. Series started in 1987. That's the Ys series, and follows the numerous adventures of Adol. And then also there's the sequel, which is Ys 9, Monstrum Nox, which launched in Japan in 2019. Now, these games are on the Switch, but they're nowhere else. The Switch and I think PC. And this is huge because people yearn to have these games over here on platforms, and they're not even on all the premier platforms. Also, meanwhile, Legends of Heroes is a turn-based spinoff of the 1984 Dragon Slayer. And on April 1st and April 9th, respectively, Stadia is set to gain both of those titles. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, and the Trails of Cold Steel 4. Or Trails of Cold Steels 3 and the Trails of Cold Steels 4, each title retailing for $60. So, Storm, we did a poll, right? Well, first and foremost, let me ask you, And again, don't be ashamed because you may be surprised at the results of this poll, but it all goes in together with our theme. Let me ask you, how big to you is the
Yeah.
platform getting these games?
I think it's huge, man. You're talking about games that's been on the Nintendo platform for years now. I know Snow Bunny. Shout out to Snow Bunny. We should have had Bunny on here, man. Bunny, if you're listening, we should have had you up on here today because I'm telling you, like I remember her just talking about these games on YMYOG, like
Yeah,
like for the probably for the past few months, she's been talking about at least one of these games or whatever, and how she was excited about the Ease games. And I didn't know what they were. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played one, haven't touched one, right? But I was familiar with the title because of Snow Bunny. Um, so I could tell you this right here. It made me think about how Microsoft was or Xbox was aggressively trying to go over into the Japanese market and get some of these JRPGs and games like that, right?
yeah,
And so when I heard they were coming to Stadia, I'm like, damn, out of nowhere it seems that here are some games that millions of people love. You know what I mean? Millions of people love these games, y'all. And they're coming to the Stadia platform that has no games.
yep.
Hold
That's
on.
about to die too. We're gonna get into that.
It's about to die. Well, first of all, it's already dead. We're just
It's
playing a
already
dead
dead,
platform.
yeah.
It died in 2019 before launch. I just want to correct you.
Yeah,
And then it's
sorry.
coming over to Stadia, y'all. And out of nowhere, just like I got hit with Dirt 5, I knew it was, I heard rumblings. I knew Dirt 5 was coming. I didn't even know when the release date was going to, and then all of a sudden, bam, it just happened, right?
Yep.
So I've already said, and I won't say this, but I'll say it like probably 30 more times that I've been telling people, wait till the spring 2021 and beyond. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive for Stadia, y'all. Now, please rewind this, let it play in your thoughts and your dreams because
Clip that.
Project Storm just be trying to put things together, y'all. You know what I do? I listen to Jack Buser and I listen to John Justice and I listen to what these interviews like Shannon Studstill and other people are saying in these interviews. They leave like little crumbs, breadcrumbs for us to follow. But sometimes we don't even because we already ate a steak. We don't care about the breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? Well, breadcrumb, what the hell I need? So we don't care to stay on track, if I will. So this is nothing. Like this is nothing, man. The Resident Evil news, that's it's big, but
Yeah,
it's nothing compared to what we're about to get for the remainder of this year.
exactly.
Now, how do I don't have a looking glass. I don't have a, crystal ball, anything like that. But I believe I put things together. I saw how they closed out last year. I saw the momentum that they gained. It started turning positive, like getting eyes on Stadia in a positive manner. You know what I mean? With Immortals Phoenix Rising and Cyberpunk and other moves. You know what I mean? The Good Stuff campaign, even though we were thinking that it might not be the hottest,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. But other people thought it was the hottest. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole lot of things that go down, man, that it's easy to pay attention to if we want to open our eyes. But these games coming to this platform, MM2K, is a success, man, because it builds that library, it builds that portfolio, and it makes people say, damn, Stadia has a little something for everybody. They definitely have a few games for me right now versus no games for me in 2019. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it, man.
Shout out to the homie Rome with his hating behind nose. What up, Rome? Good to see you, good
Rome.
brother. In the house, he says, "Now, oh, we bloviating. What up?" So let me say something. Let me say something to that. Because we keep it real here. We definitely understand that there are some people that look at these games and they say, "Well, hold on, I don't know what these titles are. I'm not necessarily so big on them, MM2K, and they may not mean nothing to me." So to gauge that whole aspect, and I'm showing y'all on the screen right now, we had a poll. And I think I can participate. So I said Stadia just dropped news of 4 critically acclaimed JRPGs that are coming to the platform by the summer. These titles have been have many in the community excited, and I referenced them to our video. about that. What about you, or any of these titles, ones that you plan to pick up? What best describes what you plan to do and how you feel? So I'm going to say, for me, I'm planning to pick up maybe one or two. Can I participate? No, I can't. I can't. I must be logged in to vote. So the numbers are 50% or higher than 50% say either they're not buying or they're buying one to all of them. And then a little bit under 50%, they say, I don't care about these games at all. You know what I mean? But when you look at the media storm, like since SG&E closed down, to Rome's point, so we're keeping it transparent there. But this is the Stadia Reddit, with an asterisk next to it. Just be mindful, this is the Stadia Reddit. We love the Stadia Reddit community, but it's the Stadia Reddit, so be mindful of that. With that being said, Storm, when you go to the media and you look at the media coverage, because I track the media every morning. Every time I look at the media since SG&E closed down, bro, it's doom and gloom. Stadia's about to die. It's melting away. They're selling the servers, on the black market. All this crazy stuff. When the news of these games coming to Stadia, even though they're not on major premier platforms, when that news hit, man, you had a lot of salty tears. You had a lot of people saying, come on, Xbox, Stadia's getting this and you're not? Oh, man. And then you had the news just do like a 180. They're like, whoa, hold on. We've been reporting that Stadia's dead. How in the hell did they make this deal with NIS America? Hold on, that makes us rethink, because we were just celebrating, Storm, Square Enix getting Octopath Traveler on Game Pass, even though we already had it. But hold on, y'all got these games from NIS America. It totally wiped away all that enthusiasm, for the most part, of Octopath Traveler on Xbox, because now Stadia is getting these. It made headlines everywhere. So, to Rome's point, I get it. We personally may not feel, Storm, that X game is for me, but when you look at the big picture, it's about creating a catalog that's going to keep people engaged, and also creating a catalog that's going to create a lot of buzz. And that's why I think these games are important. What do you think about that, Storm?
All right. Well, you talked about the media. So, every time you talk about the media, my antennas go up, man. I'm like, yo, be careful out there. There's some, you know what I'm saying? So there's something called media literacy, man.
Man.
That I don't want to school nobody today, man. I'm not going to do it. I don't get paid. I'm not getting paid to educate today. So, hey, check this out. And that's another thing, man. I want to point something out and make it very clear, man. We do this because we love doing what we do. Yep. You get what I'm saying? I just want to point that out. We do this because we love doing what we do, y'all.
Facts.
But if you would like to support what we're doing, MM2K, man, I'm sure at some point, man, can you let the people know how they could do that?
Oh, yeah.
Now, look.
I will.
Now, look.
Shout out to Rome with the $2. He says, I love, it's all love. Stadia may need my tough love. But go ahead, Storm.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to put that out there because I didn't hear you say it today, man. But we put some hours into this, y'all. We put some thought and some time into it, and we try to be as honest as we can. We do combat, which is a part of media literacy, right? Once you had those skills, basically you'll be able to to shape your ability to think critically and combat some of the false narratives and the fake news, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'll be able to combat the fake news, and then you'll be able to formulate your own opinion, and then you won't be getting duped. You won't get tricked for the people that's out here getting tricked, man. And it's not cool. You know, so you brought that up, and the red flag just boom, light bulb went off right there, man. Yep. So I just wanted to throw that out there, man. Media literacy, y'all. Absolutely. Be careful who you're out there, where you're checking this information from, and who they're getting their numbers from, and stuff like that, and everything else. Because one more thing, if you don't mind, man.
Oh no, brother, go ahead. You can teach them.
People are saying, "Hey, man, remember how I kind of had a soft spot for Phil Spencer when people were giving him all that. Phil has to go.
Yeah.
He has to go right now. He's not the guy.
Phil Harrison,
I know Spencer right
Oh,
now, bro.
Spencer.
Phil Spencer,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Remember we were talking and we were, doing our thing, in the Scram Punks days and all that stuff, man,
Oh,
just
yeah,
having
yeah, yeah, yeah,
conversations.
yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
would come out and say, Phil Spencer is the guy.
Yeah.
Like he's going. It's something about Phil Spencer that lets me know that he's a smart dude. He'll eventually turn Xbox around, and then people will be clapping and praising him. Well, now I heard that people want Phil Harrison out of here, man.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
asking these same people, do you think Phil Harrison didn't have anything to do with the process of
Come
these
on,
of this
come on, man.
this E series coming over
No,
here,
he
man?
didn't.
You
He didn't.
uh,
It was Jade Raymond before she left. You ain't know that?
I ain't know that. I ain't know that. Now I'm just asking, but you think Phil didn't know? He didn't have the knowledge of this going down? You think he don't have connections in Japan, all over the world? Now I just ask people this because again, I just want you to think. All right, just think. We don't have to be in the meeting room to know kind of what's going down. All right. Relationships are everything when it comes to business and all that, right? So I just want to say for the people that's saying, yo, we need Phil Harrison's not the guy right now. I think Phil Harrison is the guy. I like Phil Harrison. He's the same guy that got up there and made that Immortals Phoenix Rising announcement and everybody jumped up and down. Yeah, it's party time. Yep, let's do it. So I just want to throw that out there, MM, because it came to my mind, man. Now, again, going back to this, it was huge. It was huge. I really will say that. I'll leave it right there. I really don't know what else to say, bro. I'll just leave it right there. It was a huge move for the platform. It says that they're out here in Japan, which was a market that was almost impossible for the Xbox to penetrate, bro. It took a long time, man. And then they have a portfolio of games. I keep talking about the portfolio of games, right? So they have a vast library of games that are well received by gamers all over the place. So if you think about that, then they could bring the Disgaea series or whatever.
Mhm.
If you all are not familiar with that, maybe some of you are. I mean, they could bring other franchise games now to the platform because Ease is here now. The Ease games are coming. So I don't know. I just wanted to stop it right there, MM. But I had to put it out there.
No, I mean, I think that's so spot on, Storm, because this is what people forget Phil Harrison's lineage. And Storm, he's right, because I was one of those naysayers that like Phil Spencer gotta go. But as you and I may not be sold on Phil, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Phil Spencer helped bring together this deal between Bethesda and Xbox, which for Xbox is huge, for its community is huge, and it's restored. So even though there's not games out here yet, we can have the argument about, well, what is it doing right now? It's doing something important because it got people engaged in the platform, at least. Now they just got to come with the games. And that was very important for Xbox because can you imagine if there was no Bethesda deal, but Xbox was still being beat by PlayStation the way that it's being beat? You know what I'm saying? Game Pass, even though it's getting Outriders now and all the other stuff, it doesn't have it's not powered by the Bethesda games and all the other stuff. Like, can you imagine if Bethesda, period, if the Bethesda deal wasn't there, just close your eyes and imagine what that would mean for Xbox. 80% of the hype for Xbox right now, at least 80%, is because Bethesda is there. That's what's holding up the platform. So this was much needed for them. And kudos to Phil Spencer, regardless of how I feel. He don't wake up every day and say, how can I please MM2K? So we got to keep that in mind, that he don't wake up every morning and say, how can I solely please a Row? No, shout out to Row. How can I solely please XYZ or Storm or MM2K? He wakes up and says, look, what is good for at mass and how can we create and grow mind share? So it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? To that, I want to also piggyback this notion that Phil Harrison has lineage, just like Phil Spencer has lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Harrison has lineage because he was one of the original 40 people, Storm, that created PlayStation, or that ushered in PlayStation. One of the 40 original people that brought in PlayStation, that brought PlayStation to fruition. So he's already had connection to Japanese development because he was at PlayStation for PlayStation 1, 2, and 3.
There it
So
is.
he already got them connections. So that's the type of person that we got. As Phil Spencer is fighting to get Octopath Traveler on Game Pass months after we got it, all Phil Harrison got to do is pick up the phone. Hey, yo, now the platform is ready. Can we get about 4-5 of them? Word. Boom.
Oh,
Just
man.
like that. Boom. Just like that. Bong. Just like that. It's just gonna keep
Oh,
happening.
man.
Y'all gotta look at the big picture and understand, and don't go by the memes. Don't go by the little silly videos and stuff like
Hey, man.
that.
Hey, forget all that. Why is Stadia still getting games, man? I'm just asking you right there.
Dead,
Forget all
man.
that, man.
It's dead.
Why is
Bro.
Stadia still getting games?
I don't know, Storm. It's dead. It's dead. It hurts. But you know what, Storm? Honestly, to that point right there, I want to throw this tweet up here as well that I had up there that y'all were just looking at. This is why we do what we do, Storm. I want to get your thoughts on this, man. I sent out a tweet earlier because Funimation. This is how big this is. That these NIS games are coming to Stadia. People were like, "How did they do this?" Somebody said in a tweet, Stadia is confusing to me. Half the time I think it's finished, it's over, no more. Then they add new stuff. Which is it, Stadia? Are you dead or not, right? So I followed up and I said, Storm, I said, all Stadia did was said, oh, people really want us at mass to get their favorite games on our tech ASAP instead of investing in these big lofty dreams. Still plenty years away. Stadia has become a better product since then. Like it or not, what we have in Stadia right now is better than what it was when SG&E was open. We got more big ticket games coming day and date, and these games are dropping with better fidelity. And to wrap it up in a bow, so y'all understand why we do what we do, I completely sympathize with this individual, I say in another tweet. Due to the misleading tags from the people we're supposed to trust, the mainstream media, the unsuspecting gamers confused. That's why we do what we do. So stay tuned to Stadia Dosage, Cloud Gamer Chronicles, PNTS Network, Project Storm's channel, Snow Bunny, and the likes. So that's what I got to say. So to Storm, to answer your question briefly, instead of me doing all this babbling, the reason why Stadia is still getting these games, it ain't because contracts have to be played out. Contracts can be canceled. Somebody can say, oh, you're closing shop. What's the point of me even bringing this to your platform? It's not even worth supporting it. Stadia is still getting games because Stadia retail, as far as their planning is concerned, is still going on.
It sounds like it makes sense to me. It sounds like it makes sense to me. Y'all better keep hitting that dislike button. I tell you what, this right here is going to be one of them ones that is going to make you hit that dislike button, boy. I'm telling you right now, because nobody wants to hear the real. They don't want to hear the truth, man. Hit that dislike button if you must. But we're going to keep on grooving. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. Emma, man, I will say, man, it's an honor to be up here putting out this positive information, man. This information that's based on facts to the best of our ability, man. It is an honor to be up here on this platform with you, bro. And no amount of dislikes is going to change that. We don't even care. Dislikes help too. Y'all already know how. Hey, man, haven't people been saying that the dislikes help too?
Help the algorithm.
Hit that dislike.
It's just showing us that you're giving us attention. We love it, baby.
Absolutely, man. We understand it. And we understand that not everybody likes Stadia, but they damn sure be tuning in, though.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it moving. What is the next topic? Hey, that was a great point about the connection, man, because you've been telling people about Phil Harrison and his his lineage and everything, his tenure, his experience and all that, man. So everything is just aligning, man, in a way that makes me think outside of the box or the circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I just feel good about where we are, and I'm not going to lie to you. But SG&E, Storm, I just talked about this during my Dirt 5 stream. Yep. See, that's the thing that they have to go on. And remember, you know the steps, the orders of doom. Stadia is going to be laggy. There's no way 5G, nothing is not here. The internet, the infrastructure is not ready for something like a Stadia is going to be doomed. Bro, then we fast forward. Well, the tech works. Yes, it does. Digital Foundry said it works. But now they don't have any games. 12 games at launch. Well, that number doubled to 24 games at launch. 22 or whatever the number was, right? It doubled or damn near doubled. So then we had 22 games, I think I remember correctly, man, at launch. And then people were like, well, don't really have the games I want to play. Don't have no big bangers, no triple. Red Dead is announced. Oh, well, still, man, Red Dead is old. It's always something, bro. Do you feel that way? It's always something, man. Like now, to close your SG&E, that's supposed to be the death blow. Now, people can't comprehend right now how Stadia is still getting games like Ease and all this, Resident Evil and all this, and games to come that's already been announced, and others who that's going to stealth drop. They don't seem to understand that Google's seems to be in this, man. Now, we've been on record to say that all of this stuff could be like, poof, it's gone overnight. But that's the same for any of these companies. You know what I'm saying? Things could happen. Drastic measures can occur. You know, you just never know. All it takes is one fatal mistake, right? One fatal mistake and a lack of preparation and planning or whatever. And then that could be the end of Game Pass. That could be the end of the pricing structure that you're familiar with, or PS Now, or whatever. Like, so that's how, look, man, it just gets me a little bit on edge because we have these conversations with people, MM. And I swear, I wish I could start a show to make this live so y'all can hear the kind of stuff that we hear, that I deal with on a regular basis, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I get, now I don't want to say the word defensive, but I'm a consumer. But more importantly, y'all, I'm a cloud gamer. I like cloud gaming. I see where it's headed. And I feel like some people want to kill that. And for those people that want to kill off cloud gaming, when I didn't kill off console gaming, I didn't kill off PC gaming. I didn't even attempt to because I'm a gamer. You know, I think that's what gets me in my bag sometimes, man. I don't always get in my bag, but when I do, it's because of haters like that.
Look, here's the thing, man. Again, none of us are in the boardroom, so we're just using facts to our disposal to tell you what we feel is the likely road forward. If you missed SSC podcast this past week with me, Project Storm, and the illustrious Clive Linden, you missed a hell of a show. And if you missed Clive's show on Monday, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. You need to stop sniffing the paint glue or whatever and get with the damn program. With that being said, Storm, we talked about it there, man, that, you know, their facts are pretty much SG&E closing down, which where we had Ed Software, who was now owned by Microsoft. They even came out, Storm, and said, look, we don't like that SG&E closed down, but we do like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that they kept their third-party relationships. They kept them, all right?
That's something I've been focusing on for a while. I've been talking about the impact of third-party games because they make up the majority of the damn industry,
Facts. 96% of purchases are third-party games. Shout out to Project Kill with the $10 sticker, man. Love you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, now, Kill, I'm gonna say this to y'all. I know Kill's pockets, man. He could have put a 999 if he wanted to up there, man. I don't know if YouTube can go that high.
Hey, Kill,
I don't know if
doing?
YouTube can go that high, man. Now that's my bro right there. We appreciate it, boy.
Shout out
you know
to Project Kill, man. Doing the damn thing out there, brother. Hey, good to see you, man. With that said, man, look. We said, you know, just follow the facts. Now, their facts are, the naysayers' facts are that, and again, I'm not saying everybody is guilty of this. A lot of people believe it, but the naysayer facts are, look, SG&E closed. And look, Jade Raymond retweeted these tweets that said that Stadia is getting out of games. And shout out to my brother Eddie Player One, who says this line that I say continuously because it's true. Me and Storm was on this show when he said this. Eddie said, shout out to Jade Raymond. She was close to a lot of things. Yes, she has some knowledge. But if she had complete knowledge, she would have known that she was getting let go, which she clearly didn't know. She's not in the boardroom. There's decisions, and trust me, I know from experience, there are decisions that are made in the boardroom that are kept from even the top, from top tier people at times because of how confidential they are, right? In nature and the importance of them. So there that is. In contrast, you had Shannon Studstill, who ran Santa Monica, say, look, there were some things in the air, but I really didn't know. But in addition, but screw all that. There's a lot of stuff that Stadia created that you're going to see in games and you're going to see elsewhere within Google. There's definitely not going to be any waste as far as what they were working on. So, yes, you're going to see, like Catherine Hassai, that's another evidence, the public speaker for Stadia, the spokesperson, she said in an interview, after the decision was made, by the way, and she would have been well abreast of this, that look, we're going into the future, we're looking into how developers can use Stadia features for Stadia games.
So MM, you sound like you have a connect, man. You got a plug out here in the game, man. How do you find your facts?
Bro,
how do you find your info?
Hey, yo, why you doing this to me, man? Hey, look,
how do you find your info?
Well, I do have some connections, and I do verify things through those connections. But all I do, brother, is look. I just look. When you're looking for only doom and gloom, you're only going to find doom and gloom. But when you go looking for everything, you find everything. So that's why I say I find it amazing, Storm, that there's the Stadia numbers where I talked about where they went over 1,000%. There's this Catherine Hassai interview. All this stuff that I keep coming across that nobody else finds because they're not looking for it, because they only want to solidify their rhetoric with doom and gloom. And I'm going to say this and shut up, Storm, and get your thoughts on this. I say a lot of this stuff, not by all, by a good number, though, is being regurgitated by people. We're not going to know from 6 months to 12 months what's going to happen. 87 months to 97 months. They say that knowing that Stadia don't tell you stuff well in advance. Anyway, so that gives them some cushion to continue their hate campaign. So be very cognizant of that. We ain't going to know a year for any of these damn platforms. Stadia done told you we getting 100 games. Until GFN came and gave you a roadmap, there was nobody nowhere near Stadia in the cloud gaming space that gave you the type of roadmap that they were giving you. So, I mean, we just got to look at the evidence, y'all. And just, if you look, I'll put it like this, Storm, and I promise I'm going to shut up. If you look at the evidence, the evidence for this thing is going to keep going versus the evidence of the naysayers, if you look at the evidence, you'll just pick up your joystick and play and not worry. Right? Yeah. Because you got to ask yourself, if they're so worried, how come they're still paying and how come they're still playing on a platform that's about to die? Right? So that's all I got to say about it.
Well, I know. Well, it's because, they had already planned that. They had already prepared. Jack Buser said that they had 2021 locked up, man. So, of course, we're going to see some games. MM2K and Project Storm and chat. Of course, we're going to see some games because, yeah, because they already had that locked up. It's contractual. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say, because look, man, we're going to have fun. Everybody has fun, man. And then we're expected to be
we got to be stiff,
cordial, professional. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to save face and be on our best behavior at all times. You know what I'm saying? Make sure we use the right utensils when we eat dinner. Hey, all that, man. Wait a minute. We're supposed to do all that while everybody just run rampant, man.
Yeah.
And try and kick us and spit on us and trash us, man. And I say us because, yes, I am still a member of the Stadia community, y'all. You know why I like Stadia so much? And I don't really put the same amount of effort and energy into the other services. Well, it's because everybody cheers for the underdog, right? You know what I'm saying? It's because this is the one that they want dead. They want this to die the most.
Yeah.
So because of that, it gives me a sense of pride, man, that I was able to help lay the foundation. I put a little brick down, you know what I'm saying, into the building of that wall, man. I put a little brick down, MM2K. It feels good. I feel proud about that, man. Never wavering. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that woke up with us on Saturday mornings and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and shit, why would I turn my back on that? So listen, I questioned people before. I said, some are going to just be a consumer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's fine. Some are going to be loyal. We hear Rome Rush. Shout out to my brother Rome Rush. You talked about him early on the show. He's always talking about loyalty and how he's not loyal to a brand, because if PlayStation starts messing up, that brother will go somewhere else. Yeah. There ain't too many places he could go. Nintendo, Xbox, cloud, PC. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I just want people to understand. So when you come in here and you listening to us, man, I just wanted to be clear that it's because of all of this that's going on coming at us from the outside. I'm not built like that, MM. I'm not built to take that thrashing, man. I have never been raised like that. I'm just, that's not in my DNA, and it's fine.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's some
Facts.
other, hey, look, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with us every day. We want y'all to come here. You know what I'm saying? We need y'all to. Somebody got to hear this, because then we can hopefully spread the message, y'all.
Yep.
And hopefully this will go down as a time when, you know what, MM2K and Project Storm, man, damn, they kept it real. I remember them brothers right there, bro. They kept it real. And now that Stadia is out here doing what they said it was going to do, and others have said it was going to do, jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
I might tune into what they're saying a little bit more from time to time. You know what I mean? I don't know, y'all. It's just everything that makes sense. So people just see things differently, man. I get it. They see things differently. But some people don't want to find the truth, MM. They just don't.
Here's the problem too, Storm, is that the problem is, and let me do this real quick. Shout out to the super chat, man. We love y'all so much, man. We thank y'all so much. We can't do this without y'all. We got the homie Amunar in the house with his hating behind. He says Jade Raymond will give Sony all of Stadia's dirty secrets. Then the homie Project Storm said, "Oh no." He said, "I can't let Amunar outdo me. We appreciate
Can't
you,
let
bro.
a PlayStation guy outdo me."
But the $20,
Are you serious?
Shout out to the brother Project Storm. And then we got G Million in the house. Hey, G Million, we miss your yappers, man. We need one of those crazy G Million yappers that split the sides again. He says Stadia had more games at launch than the Xbox Series X. Oh, Jesus! Don't tell them, G Million. Don't do that. Don't do that to them. But here's the thing. Storm.
Shit, we might owe G Millie royalties for them yappers, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The phone lines are open. The yappers are open now. Let us know what you think about this discussion. Again, and then we're going to talk also about these upcoming big ticket games. Because remember, even though people like my homie Rome, our homie Rome rather, said, "Man, I don't care about these games, man. Y'all out here bloviating, man. Dive turkeys." Even though he's out here like this, we still got. We still got Resident Evil and Outriders dropping day and date. And for Outriders in particular.
When are they dropping? When are they dropping, damn it?
They dropping day and day. Outriders is dropping April 1st for y'all fools. You know what I'm saying? It's dropping, you get it? It's dropping April 1st for y'all fools that say Stadia's dead. And Resident Evil's coming, May 25th? Resident Evil 8's coming May 25th.
When is the 7 coming?
But 7 is coming, isn't that coming April 1st as well?
April 1st as well. That's why I asked you. I don't think people understand what kind of gameplay hours is about, what Project Storm is about to be doing, screaming at my damn TV, acting like I'm a G, but I'm really just a flea. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing my best, y'all, when I'm on this Resident Evil 7, and it better not be at up to 4K 60 FPS. It better not be, because you're damn sure going to hear from me. But that's another discussion, y'all.
That's what I got to be careful with that. That Resident Evil 7, that scared the crap out of me, bro. Y'all know how I get down. I'll make all types of sounds. But yeah, bro, Storm is right. I'm glad. Look, Storm, the reason why you came up to me at the beginning of all this and said,
"Oh man, I love it.
MM2K, I gotta be me. I just gotta be me. You gotta be able to take me for who I am, because I gotta be me. I gotta be able to speak my mind, or I can't do this."
Word.
And the reason why I said, yeah, absolutely, is because number one, when we go and we put our thoughts out there and we share them with each other, we're keeping each other honest. And we're keeping the brain sharp and the juices flying. And then that creates a better product for y'all in the long run. But opposite of that, the people, Project Storm represents the people. He's the people's champ. So when he sees that y'all enjoyment, that somebody's pissing in y'all cornflakes and they ain't got no proper reason to do that, he's going to come out there with the Thor's hammer and shut it all down.
And I'm going to piss in their cornflakes.
He's going to piss it all, and on my way to doing that, I'm going to piss in their cornflakes, piss in their Cheerios. And the reason why that has to be done is because everywhere you turn, this platform is here. Look, me and Storm are friends. You know what I'm saying? We got a phone call. Hold on.
Well, let's get it.
You are live with Project Storm, MM2K, SML Podcast. Who is it that we're talking to? And what is it you want to talk about, our good friend?
It is your boy, the Stadia Revolution, back up in the building. What's
Not
happening,
the
y'all?
revolution.
Stadia Rev, what's going on, good brother?
Man, it's quiet out here in these Stadia streets, man.
It is.
Why you think that is, Rev?
Because the narratives are changing. And
Can you
I'm
can
hearing
you
an echo
elaborate?
of myself. I don't know why.
Oh,
But hello?
yeah.
It's not me this time. Yeah, it's not me. I got the headset on this time.
Let me check the audio setup. Make
Okay,
sure.
it seemed to be gone now.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so well, we all know the Stadia is dead. It died 1,000 deaths. It died one big death by 1,000 cuts, right?
R.I.P.
So there's no
R.I.P.
need to right. Rest in peace.
I caught
You know,
that one. I like
Stadia
that one.
and all of that stuff, because there was no need to bring all of these big games to the platform. But yet somehow, some way, like a phoenix, it keeps rising. I don't know, but all I do know is that these people that was out here saying all of these different things about the platform, and valid criticisms in some retrospects, yeah. But it seemed like to me some of us just decided that it was a good idea to take delight in all of the negative news and highlight that, put 1,000 tweets about that, but when all the positive news come out, it's cricket. And, that part was really telling for me. So, for me, I'm happy because Resident Evil is coming, but not just because of the Resident Evil game, but because of Capcom. That's getting us closer to Street Fighter being here and all these other games that could possibly make their way now that Capcom is finally on the platform, So this is a great time. And then we got all these good games that's been announced and coming out, and that we're gonna, man, look, it is a great time for Stadia. And I know some people are just waiting for the next big bad news to come out so that they can come up out the woodworks and talk about how, Stadia is dead, and these are people that are supposed to be in the community supporting the platform. But, whatever. It's all good.
Let me ask you something, Red, real quick. Do you think that these publishers and developers would be bringing their games to a platform that they knew for a fact was dying?
No.
Do you think that Stadia? Do you think that all right, with the closure of SG&E, all right, obviously Stadia is in this with a business mindset, right? They're not trying to leak money. Right. So do you think they're going to be out here throwing $10s and $50 million at anybody, anytime, Dick and Harry that they can?
I don't know about that, but I do know from that statement from February 1st that they said that they were refocusing their plan and making that focus more about bringing third-party games to the platform. Which, when you look at the last 2 years from Stadia's announcement at the GDC and all of that, what were the games that people were asking for? None of them were like first-party games to any platform. They were asking for third-party games that was multi-plat everywhere else.
Right.
So,
right.
The biggest thing that they were asking for was Fortnite, and then they were asking for Call of Duty,
Apex,
all these other different games. Then Apex Legends, Roco, all those games. So none of those games are first party to any platform. So when they cut out SG&E, it's like my question to everybody was like, okay, but what game were you really What game were you really sitting around waiting for that was coming from that? When there was no games ever announced for it.
Words.
Facts.
It's like if they'd announced that they were working on this game, that game, it would have been kind of disappointing not to get it, but there was never anything ever announced for it. In the year and a half that they had it in place, almost. It sucks that people lost their jobs, and it sucks that people had to move on to do other things, and it's that was a horrible thing. But moving forward, all they're doing is just doing what they said they were going to do, bring more games to the platform, and that's what people want them to do. So I get the criticism for closing SG&E, but I don't get the outrage.
Yeah, the outrage and the doom and gloom because of it. Like, I get also I get also Rev, that people are
Hmm.
like, oh man, how is that going to lay into their future prospects? I get that, but I don't get
Hmm.
where it automatically equates to Stadia isn't changing their plans, even though there's a plethora, not plethora, a plethora of information.
We're gonna get you
Hey,
right,
yo,
Hey,
man.
I
We're
we
had
gonna
to
know.
get
do
your
Hey,
it.
hopes up
I
we
from
had
the
to
know
do
you
it,
gotta
guy.
make.
Rev.
We know you like to say your words, man.
Yeah, he said, I got my own dictionary, y'all. But okay, I'll concede plethora, even though there's a plethora of evidence, Rev, on this side that says that what Stadia said is they're doing what they said. Like Outriders, it was coming later. That wasn't like Cyberpunk, and you pointed this out, Rev, I believe in a
Hmm.
tweet a while ago. Like Cyberpunk, they've always said, oh, it's coming out the same year. Here with Outriders,
Hmm.
they specifically said later, and then when SG&E closed, it went from later to day and date. Resident Evil, there was nothing said about about Resident Evil before SG&E closed. Remember, everybody was upset, man. What's going on? What's going on? After SG&E closed, now we find out about Resident Evil.
Hmm.
Madden looks fantastic. FIFA looks fantastic. They look better on launch than Jedi Fallen Order did, right? Jedi Fallen Order
Yeah,
launched before
I gotta get
SG&E.
back in that game.
Madden
Me too.
and FIFA launched after. So there's all this evidence. Like what what do you
Well, they
what
were
do you
already
say to
slated
people
to,
that aren't
so
looking at the
so
evidence?
yeah. Well, like all of those games were slated to come.
Yeah.
We just didn't have a release date for Madden and FIFA.
Yep.
But
Right.
Madden launched before the announcement, and FIFA launched after. You know, I think Madden launched like what 2 days before that announcement happened,
Okay.
and and then FIFA came out just a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
What was that? What 10 days ago? It's been on the platform, and I look. I think that Stadia is gonna be fine. It's They're doing exactly what they said they were doing, bringing more games to the platform, um, and that's all we asking them to do.
Yeah.
Right.
They brought all of the features that they said they were going to bring, and they're adding those to existing games already, and now it's just a matter of getting that more universal, and then getting even more games that people want to play. So that's going to be on creating the demand. We got to talk to these developers and say, hey, look, we want this game on the platform. That's why I kind of got blocked when by Bandai Namco when I was telling them to bring
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z
That was
to the
crazy,
Yeah.
platform,
bro.
because I'm like, that was funny. But yeah, I was like, just bring it to Stadia, man. They blocked me. I was like, wow, yo. So, but we gotta do that. We gotta grab our pitchforks and create that demand that we want these games over here. And if they don't, well, play them there. This
True.
isn't that
Yep.
big of a deal. And
Exactly.
people are making this out to be like, oh, well, somebody told me, well, I only tried Stadia for 2 months and I canceled it. Okay, but you still got the free account.
Yeah. Exactly. You still have access to whatever you
you know,
purchase. Absolutely.
I'm like, so what are you really saying?
Yeah. Once you merge your Google account, you got Stadia. Until you delete that Google account, you got Stadia. So you ain't get rid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not. Yeah. So you're not saying anything. It's like
and now
Cloud's
it's,
video.
and now it's getting ready to infiltrate through the partnerships or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I could have used a better word, but look, it's about to be in people's homes and these TVs and
Oh
everything, man.
yeah.
Stadia's
Facts.
on the it's on the up and up. All you have to do is just look at the signs there in front of our faces now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If they're doing more, they're doing more of what they were trying to do last year, which was just to get Stadia in the hands of the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had the giveaways. They had the team up. They had the team up. They started out with British Telecom and Verizon early in the year. Then midway through the year, they had T-Mobile that they partnered up with. That kind of launched. That kind of landed at a bad time, because the George Floyd thing was happening. right at
Right.
that time. So that kind of took attention away from that. But they did make that partnership. They partnered with a couple other people, and now starting out this year, they talk about the partnership with LG and other smart TV platforms. They did say that they're going to bring the data support to the Google TV, Chromecast. So there's a lot going on, and then you start to see Stadia's pre-installed on ROG phones now, and a few other phones that they said it was going to be pre-installed on is pre-installed on Chromebooks and all of that. I mean, all they're doing is exactly what they said they were going to do: get it into the hands of the people. And by it just being an app that you can just put on a on a particular screen, put on a particular platform or whatever, it makes it easier because you're not selling a box. You're selling a cloud-based platform, which just makes integrating it a lot easier.
Hey,
So
man, we need
at the end of the year, it's going to be in a better position than it is even now.
We need to get Rev
Go ahead.
off of here right now ASAP because he's making the haters mad.
Oh,
Damn, Rev.
Hey, look,
I
it is
mean-
what it is. It is what it is, man. I mean, when you got look, here's the thing. What Rev is speaking to, Storm, is that none of us are in the boardroom. None of us have a crystal ball. You know what I'm saying? But
Forget you, Moff. I'm in the boardroom. I'm talking to you right now. I got Phil Harrison on the phone, son.
he said, "I'm right there, son." Here's the problem. That for the people, Storm and Rev, who are saying no, because Jay Raymond retweeted no, because they're just shaking out contracts. As the days go by, that argument is looking weaker and weaker. You know what I'm saying? And y'all don't have a way to explain this argument yet versus the amount of evidence. So I hate to say it, y'all looking spooky out here. So that's what it is. Perception is 9/10 of the law. We don't know what Stadia is going to do at the end of the day. However, when you look at the amount of evidence, like Rev just said, they said they were going to do A, they're doing A. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to y'all saying all this other stuff and it not really looking that way. Y'all are going to have to recalibrate, and you see some recalibration. They've gone away from saying Stadia is definitely going to close down. It's in their plans to, we don't know, you know what I'm saying, if Stadia will survive or make it just because of the business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Oh my God, yeah, dude. Can I chime in on that?
Yep.
The goalposts.
Yeah.
My God, like, did they ever plant those things? Like,
Nah.
every time we look up, those things are on wheels because
yes.
last year that the thing was, well, we're not ready to, during the time of the good stuff era, I guess we can call that the good stuff era, well, we're not ready to say that this is a good move for Stadia. We got to see how this plays out. Okay, well, we ended that era with the Cyberpunk deal, right? And then, we go into 2021. Yes, SG&E is closing. Fine. That was a net negative. Okay, but look at everything else. Everything else, prior to that and since that has just been nothing short of phenomenal. When you think about how much interest they generated with that. Yeah, that one bad thing kind of took a lot of that away, but they're slowly rebuilding it. And they're rebuilding it by doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing, adding more games to the platform. That's it. You bring, like one of our illustrious members always say, content is king. You bring the content, the people are going to come. And they're going to keep bringing that. So I'm just waiting to see what else they got from these 100 games that's coming out this year that Jack Buser talked about, because this is what we're starting to see, the announcement of all of these different games. So this is going to be an interesting time period. So let's check back in the summer and see we'll see where everything is. What new games is going to be here by July and August. That's going to be telling.
Yo, Rev, excellent points, man. I have to remind people, and I'll shut up, man. But I keep going back to that line time after time, y'all. Jack Buser said something along the lines of that he was hopeful that people will see the sense of scale that they were going for this year, man. Like That's all I need to hear for me to be excited, yo. It's just that simple. Now you're seeing these games come to light, and why wouldn't you be excited? Why? That's what I'm asking. Why would you? How can you act as if there's no excitement to be had when major games are already being announced, man? I don't know.
Man, y'all should have seen the smile on my face when that Resident Evil was announced.
Man, I already
you're
know.
one of the first people I was thinking about, Rev. You know what I'm saying? So
because I've been campaigning for that.
yeah,
I've been campaigning for that for months. I was the only one sitting there talking about Capcom needs to be on this platform. They're partnered with Stadia, so why aren't their games here? I was the only one sticking my neck out on a limb for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when the leak happened, I was like, okay, hopefully this is true. And now it's announced, bam. Vindication on my part.
To Rev's credit,
hey, you deserve them kudos too.
To Rev's credit, you know how everybody we the fanboy trio, right? So to Rev's credit, remember when Resident Evil dropped that thing and there was no talk of Stadia, Rev was hammering on them, about that, like, yo, what's going on here? What's going on there? And look what happened after SG&E. Now we got definitive information. That's what I'm saying. The product of what we're getting in our hands, Rev, and Storm is actually better than what it was when SG&E was around. There was a lot of hopes and dreams and prospects that you could talk about and aspirations. And for those type of people, this Bethesda thing with Xbox, that's going to suit you. You know what I mean? Because the games ain't coming no time soon. But
or listen, y'all. There could be there could have been a couple breaks that was pumped when it came to certain games that was gonna be here, and then maybe Stadia exclusive features might have been a part of the conversation. Like, you know what, we might be able to implement these things, or you know what, there is such things as next gen Stadia technology, but we can't tell the people that. But let's go ahead and work on our version of the game on that technology. A lot of things could be happening, and it's not far fetched, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They're talking. Now I'm not saying that these Google TV and all this stuff is about to bring 8K 120 and all that. I'm not saying that. But if you go to the AV1 codec, research the AV1 codecs that's upcoming, y'all, for this year. Starting with LG TVs and Stadia's own technology and Microsoft equip some of their products and stuff like that, and others, right? Samsung. Just look that up. Now, there could be possibilities to this, y'all. I'm just asking people to think. I'm not saying this is happening, but hey, it could be a lot of things that was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. Hey, MM, I just want to say thank you for bringing that up as far as me criticizing and being hard on the whole thing with Capcom last year, because people tend to forget that. Like, I was irate over that shit. I was letting people have it, and I tweet storm videos, saying I was on that, and all of us, people forget that. People forget all of that because it said that I feel like Stadia can do no wrong. That's not even the case, because I criticized them on a number of occasions. And I've always said I'm not going to carry water for them. Like, but when they do something right, I'm going to give them credit, you know what I'm saying? And when they do something that I personally don't feel was was good, I'll say something. But if something isn't, the thing is, I don't feel like I have to blow every single misstep up, because I remember through the Xbox days, there was a lot of mistakes made through there, in that time. And I remember launching a new platform, a brand new platform.
Exactly.
In this space is hard.
It's difficult.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to carve out your space.
Yep.
Yep. And this is going to be the 20th year of Xbox existence, right? And they had to scratch and claw the whole way through.
Still fight. Exactly.
They didn't just come in and say, "Hey, we here and we're Microsoft. We got all the money in the world, and we're going to buy up everything and run this gaming industry." No, people thought they were going to do that, and
including
they had to pay their dues just like everybody else did. Sony did the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
And look, this is the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Xbox is still scratching and clawing. I know we got a brass within our community. To this day, we got a brass within our community, y'all, that feel like, okay, Xbox is presenting something better. And look, if it presents something better for you, that's great. If you like it, I love it.
Go for it.
But here's the thing.
Go for it.
Y'all think that Xbox got it in the bag? We had to put them numbers out there a few days ago that PlayStation is still killing them in many regards. So they're still scratching and clawing every day. This is a fight. You're not just going to walk. I don't care if you get, and Xbox got hellified money. They just bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. Now they talking about getting Discord for the gaming portion for another $10 billion. You got to put the games
and that's
out
supposed
there.
to happen next week.
Exactly. It don't make, just because Google got money, it wasn't going to put them in second and third place. You got to earn the respect. And sometimes, like Rev just showed you, that takes decades. Xbox went from being last to being first place for the majority of the 360 generation to being last place again. This is a fight, y'all. This is a fight. So
Dude, no, you forgot one part. They went from being heavily criticized and laughed at for even thinking about jumping into this market.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like, why does Microsoft need to be in this market? That was the criticism before the
Yes,
Xbox
sir.
launch. You know, there was like,
Yes,
just,
sir.
why are they even here?
yep.
Why are they even here? And it's the same shit with Google. It's like, why is Google here? You know, they're just
Exactly.
going to come and just buy up the whole industry. It's like, I guess people expected, because Google has so much money, that they were just going to walk in 5 months and just take over everything and buy Microsoft, buy Sony, buy Nintendo, and just own the whole game market. And they made a mistake with the 10.7 teraflops. They pivoted from that, and people still holding on to that. And it's been 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. People still holding on to that. So that just lets you know how hard it is to penetrate this market. And they're working on it. It's a slow grind. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Rev and Storm, people that say, see, you get it, I get it, Storm gets it. But the people that don't get it are people either too young to have that lineage or two just weren't around then. They weren't around with Xbox and saw what Xbox had to deal with, and they weren't around then, so they don't know any better. So that's what I'm saying. It's a case of a lot of times, I hate to say it and be mean, but it's a lot of times it's the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean? So
Man, look, you want perspective? How about this? When the Super Nintendo and PlayStation, the original PlayStation, were going head to head, because they were, and the Sega Genesis with their 32X was going head to head, and those were like the big three before the Saturn launch. With this, it blew the PlayStation away, but it was just not, Sega didn't market that right, and it cost too much. I think it costs the same amount as a Series X right now, back in the mid '90s. But how many other gaming platforms launched during that time? You had the TurboGrafx 16, you had the Real 3DO, you had Nintendo with the Virtual Boy, you had the Atari Jaguar. There was so many other gaming platforms that tried to launch during that time, and some of those came from established names too. And they don't exist anymore. They failed during that time. Why? Because there was only room for so many people. And Sony was leading that back then. And they haven't stopped leading it, really. So it's like, when you launching new into this space is difficult. So people have to keep that in perspective. It's like, you don't just come into this thing and say, hey, now everybody give me 10 million buyers, and they're gonna buy all of our games, and we're just gonna be, number 2.5 in the industry. No, man, you don't have to struggle. And that's what Google was finding out. This ain't easy. So now they have to reassess where they were and decide what's the best move going forward for them. They don't have to sell a box, so they don't need to have all of these exclusives. They can just get exclusives from third party publishers, or they can make second party games. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the best move going forward, and also couple that with getting Stadia in front of people, no matter how that is done. That's the best move, and that's what they did.
And that's what they're doing, continuing to do. So, hey, I always say I don't think they would invest all that bread, all this time and effort. Now I know they've killed stuff off. We got to talk about how they kill things off. Now I know other callers, Red, might be trying to call. Now I don't know. I don't want the discussion to end right now. But look, man, they're putting some serious money out here, laying this infrastructure down and making these moves, man. So I just wanted to throw that out there as you were talking about the financial part of everything.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
hey,
just wanted to just come in, chime in, because I hadn't called in a while, and I want to
yeah.
let
Nah,
you guys
man.
know that I'm out here
Excellent.
supporting you guys, and we
Call
gonna
back.
do some
Call
things.
back if
But
nobody else
We,
calls if
we,
you want
we,
to.
there's some things, definitely some things we gonna talk about
some,
it. But
some things. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna get off of here and let some other people get a call. I done hogged up enough of y'all time and whatnot.
that was a great
So
discussion.
Hey,
Though,
nah,
brother.
that was
thanks
perfect.
for having me.
All right, appreciate
Hey,
you, Red.
Red, we're gonna be
Have a good-
talking real soon, Red.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All righty,
sir.
brother.
All right, you guys have a great one. I'm still listening. Later,
All right,
y'all.
bet it up.
Peace.
Thank you for the insight.
Yeah, that was a great conversation, man.
Hey,
I think.
and Moss, see that makes me feel better knowing that somebody can connect with our thoughts on this whole thing, because there's a lot of speculation in everything business wise, especially in gaming, man, where you try to read moves and then you get disappointed when you find out that wasn't the move that you thought was going to happen and all that stuff, right? Because we buy into this so heavily as gamers, man, that sometimes we think that we can will things to happen and predict things. And that's not always the case. But what we can do is put one and one together sometimes, man, and just look at the pieces of the puzzle. You put them together, you get the whole picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's what I try to do, man. But it's exciting. So people ask why I still rock with Stadia, MM. And it's because it's still exciting. When I played, the technology never gets old. The idea that the potential of Stadia never gets old to me. I see what Google's out here doing. Now and more we're hearing that third-party games they're beginning to seem like the third-party games. Like people are understanding more that exclusives do matter, but third-party games are equally important or more important, if I'm being honest, more important than the exclusive game.
Everywhere you go, if you think about it this way, if you look at the evidence instead of the salacious stuff, in my mind, you look at the evidence and you try to pretend that you're Google. All right, so these are the facts as we know it. And shout out to Jason Schreier. I mean, he told us at launch day. He said that
Schreier.
He said Stadia fell short, so we knew about that. So really, that's why I call his Les Posay a Les Posay. He really didn't break any information that we didn't really know that was significant.
Did he unblock you yet?
No, he ain't unblocked me yet. No.
Oh, okay.
But that's all right. That's all right. Shout out to him though. But Jason said that they fell short at launch. We come to find out that it was hundreds of thousands of units short, right? But if you measure that against Xbox, who lost 24 million to 150 million, I think Xbox's launch, they underachieved as well, maybe by a few million. So then you fast forward to there were extra controllers. But those extra controllers, right, we know now then they said, oh, we got these extra controllers. They're earmarked for later in the year for campaigns like the Cyberpunk campaign, the YouTube Premium campaign, and all those controllers are gone. And those weren't just given away. They were given to paying Google customers, right? But it had YouTube Premium, and then Cyberpunk 2077. So you fast forward all the way to the end. Fourth quarter, Stadia is killing it. They're killing it so much, Storm, that even Forbes comes out and they say Stadia is the true next-gen platform. And what made Forbes say that was the most powerful mainstream media comment about Stadia up until that point, the most powerful one. Stadia is the true next-gen platform. They were saying that over PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. This is while Stadia is still in its Stadia 1.0 phase. There ain't even no Gen 2.0 stuff out yet. So if I'm Stadia, I'm looking at, wow, we had a rocky road at start. We kind of picked it up in the fourth quarter. We went well over the moon with Cyberpunk 2077. And when we look at all of our polling, everybody is saying the problem with you, Stadia, is that you don't have my favorite games day and date.
Right.
If you're Stadia, why wouldn't you look at that and say, because even though Google is rich, they have a budget. It has to operate that way because of investors, right? Xbox, they can the checks that Xbox get written were only written after Xbox was making 10 billion to Sony's 16 billion, you know what I'm saying? Google isn't there yet, so there can't be a blank check until the product is making revenue. So they got to make smart decisions right now. So if your money is tied up, if a lot of your money is tied up in SG&E, and everything that is making you great has nothing to do with SG&E, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you let SG&E go for the time being and build on what's bringing you people? They had a tough decision to make. Again, y'all are in a wonderland that I can't fathom because I have the lineage and I've done the research. I can't fathom it because y'all are comparing Google Stadia, that does not have a serious revenue stream. You're comparing it to Xbox, that even though when they launched, they didn't have a serious revenue stream, they had one of the biggest CEOs that bled money ever in Steve Ballmer. I love Steve Ballmer, but they lost $7 billion the first generation and $3 billion the second generation. And they did that because Xbox was never meant to make money. It was just only meant to keep PlayStation from taking over the living room. These are totally different times. You don't have those concerns anymore. Nobody is going to bleed that money like those CEOs did back in those days. So, with that being said, if your Stadia Storm, you don't have a super lucrative system like an Xbox had to develop over decades, and you only got so much money earmarked for your product, you got to move stuff around. And SG&E, unfortunately, was the thing that had to be moved around because it wasn't doing anything for Stadia right now. All the other stuff was. If you do the research, if you look at things from 5,000 feet, it makes sense. If you don't, maybe it doesn't. That's just my theory.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I'll tell you, it was Xbox that taught me the difference between the red and the black. I didn't know what the hell the red and the black was when it came to business terminology and stuff, man. I was thinking that the black was, or you know, one was good and the other was bad. I had them backwards or whatever, right? So I just remember the fact that Xbox was bleeding money with the 360, man. That's what I kept reading. I was like, "What you mean? I love Xbox. I'm an Xbox diehard at the time." It was the most popular
system, but it was still bleeding money.
What? Now, the Red Ring of Death, I understood that, MM. I understood how that impacted Xbox, man. They were in a hole for a while. They were taking some major L's when it came to launching these consoles and stuff, right? Japan was like, nope, don't want nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. We got PlayStation over here. This is the land of Nintendo and PlayStation. Remember that? They had an uphill climb. You know what I'm saying? And they're still trying to make waves over in Japan. And this right here will segue right into our you know, if you want to get into that ID Xbox event or whatever. But it's just something to think about, man. It puts everything into better perspective. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. Don't forget, y'all, 724-739-3612. Y'all want to talk about ID Xbox? We'll definitely talk about that. Or let's talk about these games coming, Resident Evil and Outriders. Which one are you more excited of? You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all want to talk about, just let us know. I want to show y'all something real quick, though, from our good friend Charles Aran. He put this out there, and we'll let y'all let us know what you think about this. He has a thread out there where he says, with it being a big topic lately, I have a question/poll for you. If subs are the true future of cloud gaming, what would you rather see? Game subs bundling with video streaming services, or video streaming services offering games based upon their own IPs, Disney, HBO, Paramount, etc. He said, to elaborate, video game shows are becoming the new thing in TV. Netflix has shows based on existing games like Castlevania and The Witcher. They also have games based on their IP, Stranger Things, for example. Disney, HBO, Paramount also have games based on IP. My answer to that question is, I don't know if the cross stream of video games and movies are there yet. For the simple fact that we got to be honest. The video game community is a lot more skeptical about the streaming structure of games than they are about the streaming structure of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming is the large part of how we're watching TV shows and even movies now because of the pandemic, right? Video games. There's streaming options to over 1.6 billion people in video games. Maybe 30 million people are taking advantage of that. So right now, I think there's separate buckets. I think movie streaming and video game streaming aren't on an even plane right now for them to be bundled together. What do you think, Storm?
I think so, but it made me think about the recent buzz that I just heard that Ghost of Tsushima. I think Sony was trying to do something as far
They're
as
making a movie.
making a movie with that and all that stuff that they will be able to stream to people if they wanted to. And I remember Blu-ray discs having options to like BD Live and stuff like that where you could do live interactions and all that. But then I thought about the fact that movies are, if I'm not mistaken, they come out at 24 frames per second. They could do that because they're movies versus gaming. Like you said, it's a different animal pretty much, right? Yeah. So I don't know how easy that would be up and running. I think that'll take a whole lot of time. But the possibility, I see where Charles was coming from with the thought process, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do.
I think it's a model that you'll see in the future. But it's going to take the gaming community. It's going to take less than 2% because that's where we're at right now when it comes to streaming video games at that level. Only 2%, you're either in a subscription service or in a streaming service. It's less than 2%. So we have to get over that 2% threshold. We have to maybe get to 30% or something like that for that, I think, to be a reality. But no, great question from the homie Charles. With that said, let's get onto this ID Xbox thing, right? So, Storm, ID Xbox had their thing. I didn't really catch a lot of it, but I know you caught a good portion of it.
Right.
And then there's articles out there about it, and we want people to call in and give their thoughts about what they think about it. What did you think about the ID Xbox thing?
I'm always concerned with the presentation of these events, man. I think that you have an opportunity for thousands, if not millions of people to watch these events, right? But you bring on, I think the presentation could have been more exciting. You know what I'm saying? So it makes people say, oh, this is boring. Like when you watch live chat and everything, people are like, oh, this is kind of boring, boring and all that, right? Because there's nothing there to really motivate them. There's like kind of like this I'm going into this because I remember Stadia doing their indie thing, right? And then people giving Stadia a hell of a hard time. Indies. This is what I didn't sign up for indies. This is what you're gonna do. Oh, here's the future of Stadia, indie titles.
Yeah,
and all that, right? But I'm hearing some of the same people saying how they're excited about this event and all that stuff. So I get confused, man. My mind just gets baffled. I'm baffled, bro. I'm mind blown because I'm like, wait a minute now, which one is it? Do you support the indies or not? Is it okay to support indies on one side and not the other? Exactly. So I get confused as hell, bro. Now, as far as the event, it could have been more entertaining. They had these ladies, shout out to them, nice young ladies. They were doing their thing. It seemed like they were trying to do some promoting of their own Twitch channels and stuff, or whatever the case was at times toward the end of the show. Then there was games though, that I was excited for, like Stalker 2, like some updates on Stalker 2, The Ascent, 12 Minutes, and other games that look phenomenal as indie games because we know how important these indie games are in the first place, right? But I can't help but think, because I pay attention. See, this is what I'm saying. I do pay attention, and I pay attention to words, man, including my own. I know when I mess up. I know when I contradict myself. You know what I mean? I pay attention to words. I don't understand how Xbox right now is going to get that pass where Stadia. At one point, people were saying it was too heavily indie focused. It's never going to be successful. It's just not a good idea. This is not the strategy I thought I had in mind for Stadia. Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I making this up? Can you at least back me by saying you heard some of this or you know where I'm coming from, bro? Because right now I feel like I'm stuck, man.
No, you're absolutely right, and I think what is poignant in what you said is that you did get a lot of people that say, oh, Stadia's not going to make it with all these indies. Oh my God, Xbox is coming with 100 indies. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Stadia ain't going to make it with these old games. Oh my God, Bethesda just dropped 20 old games into Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, my homie Z, I gave him a shout out earlier. Shout out to Broadband Bullies. BroadbandBullies.com, by the way, is up and running again for those of y'all that missed that website. We put a lot of hard work to secure it and all this other stuff. And so definitely go to broadbandbullies.com. They had a crazy show last night. Definitely check it out. My good brother Z doing the damn thing out there. With that being said, look, again, I think that it boils down to Storm. Gamers came to this platform because they were looking for a premier platform, and they said, oh, it's going to be slow for a couple months with Stadia. But, by March or April, they're going to be up there competing with Xbox. That's what they truly thought. They really thought that. They didn't pay attention. They didn't catch the Jack Buser commentary. They didn't hear the Phil Spencer interview. Didn't realize, like how my good friend Clive Linden pointed out, that all this hyping that was happening at GDC was for developers to say, hey, look, we got some power under the hood working here that, one day when it comes to fruition, it's going to be crazy. Y'all need to come check this out. This is what, our stuff is going to be capable of from launch up until, later. They didn't catch all that. And so because I never had grandeurs of disillusion thinking that Stadia out the box was going to compete with Xbox. I thought that maybe the first year would be the test year because what I know about Xbox. And I thought maybe, 2021, they're going to compete with them. But then I had to be schooled. I had to be schooled by good brothers like the homie 6'4". Shout out to 6'4". He was like, nah, man, y'all looking in the wrong lane about this. Y'all don't understand. This has to organically grow. It's going to take some time. It's a marathon, not a sprint, whatever. And then things came to fruition. I said, 6'4", you're 1,000% right. That being said, I think too many people they were disillusioned in believing that this was going to be a premier platform within 2020. And it's not. It's a cloud platform. They're instead of doing what Xbox did out of the gate, waste billions of dollars out of the gate, they said, look, we're going to fight for the $1 to $8 billion cloud gaming space, make some money off of that to, supplement what we're trying to do. And then once we get to a good level as far as content and capability, then we're going to take it to Xbox and PlayStation. Look, when SG&E closed down, they hired a YouTube Stadia person. They hired a YouTube Stadia person, someone that can help in the integration of features in YouTube. There's just a posting that was put out there for a Stadia social media manager. Like, they were building on this, but it's a sprint, not a marathon. And those people that you hear Storm over and over again say, no, Stadia got 3 weeks to get it together or it's over. They're either young, they're still wet behind the ears, or they weren't there in the trenches and they don't know about Xbox and what that fight was all about. And what I urge y'all to do again is pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels and maybe go back to the archives online. Go to the online archives and look at articles from back then because y'all are lost in the sauce in so many ways. But those are my thoughts. And my thoughts alone.
Now, with that being said, that event is very important. You know it. We know it. We all know it. Those indie games are contributing to the billions of dollars that this industry gains every single year. You know what I mean? It's growing all the time. We hear about it. We read the articles and everything. So you just have to understand that these developers start out as indie developers. Then they have an option if they're lucky or if they're good enough at what they do to go to the big stage, you know what I'm saying? And then become a AAA game studio or whatever. So I understand all that, man, but it comes back to, again, people's actions, their words, including our own, you know what I'm saying? We have to be mindful of this stuff. Because again, I asked the question, y'all, I put myself on this boat. If I'm out here, and I said this in my Dirt 5 stream as well, if I'm out here and I'm seeing all this positivity about Stadia, right? I'm seeing all the efforts that they're putting forth. But then I'm out here saying, man, Stadia is it's 3 weeks. They're in trouble. If they don't do this right now, they have to do this right now. If they don't do this right now, then it's done. If I'm out there saying that amidst all this positivity, but I don't get the now, some people, and then I want to say this, right? This is not a shot at all, man. You know, I don't mind saying when it's a shot and when it's not. But man, this is not a shot. But I here's something else that puzzles the hell out of me, man. Some people will focus on the positivity. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the positive side of things because I hear the negative so much. But they'll get the positivity only 15% of that window of celebration, and then they'll give the negative. You know what I'm saying? And so the ratio still needs to be tweaked a little bit more in certain cases. You know what I'm saying? The public, you know, like out in the media and on YouTube and here in the community at certain times. It's just something to think about. You know what I mean? MM, then the other side is, do we need to monitor how positive we are, bro? Are we overly positive? Are we over? Because see, this comes up too.
Mm-hmm.
I had this in my chat. Yeah, man, I feel like you just, you know, it's just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? All right, it's just positive. It's just positive all the time. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing wrong, man?
Well, my question to that person would be, Stadia is a leader in the cloud gaming space. Now, whether you want to say that they're doing better than GFN or not, that, you know, who knows? We know GFN has put numbers out there that they have 10 million users, but we also know about GFN that the vast majority of those users are people that have high power rigs that are using the free model. So that's really not helping out the GFN business model, right? So again, but it's very clear that GFN and Stadia are the leaders of the pack, right? So they're up at the top. So to that person, I would have said, well, look, what do you think about Xbox? I mean, what do you think about these same people that feel like that Xbox can't do no wrong right now, making with all this water cooler talk? I'm sorry, it's a lot of talk. We don't see anything come to fruition as of yet. However, they're still in last place. None of this talk has got them out, but people are overly optimistic about Xbox. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be. I'm just saying, again, before you go out here with rhetoric, you got to make sure that it's not hypocritical. If you're questioning why we're so positive about Stadia, meanwhile, Stadia is a top tier platform on where it is, but yet you don't question why people are positive about Xbox and Xbox is in last place, then I think your question is null and void. I'm sorry.
Wow. I never looked at it that way, but Torres, man, right here is a whole fool. Torres is a whole fool for this one.
What'd he say?
xCloud needs to fix that airplane loading. It takes too long to boot. Let's be real. Why you think nobody streams it?
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's what Torres said, y'all. I didn't say that. I did showcase it and I had my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? Check that video. I've been comparing it to everything, you know, Stadia, Luna, all of them, GeForce Now. But damn, I mean, and that's right there. Torres has a right to say that, you know, but see, we could harp on that every show, MM. Let's take a look at the loading on the damn xCloud. Let's go over to GeForce Now and see how it compares. We could do that all the time and just beat that damn horse over and over and over. But why would we? Why would we want to spend our efforts on that, MM2K, when there's other things that we need to be out here presenting to the people and you know, so I don't know, man. I tell you what, though, I'm having fun in this one today.
Absolutely. Absolutely, as always. And y'all are making it a crazy, crazy show. Y'all are live in the chat, all types of opinions. Look, man, you can't be, look, I always say, Storm, you can't be wrong for your opinions. But you can, but people will judge you based upon the relativeness of those opinions to the facts. Like, I always use this example. It's a crazy example, so bear with me. I go infiltrate a well, no, I'll use this example. I'm from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they will fight you over the Steelers. They will literally fight you. You say something bad about this, you can get into it. And especially if you're from Pittsburgh and you say something bad about the Pittsburgh Steelers, they will fight you. That's from the hood to the suburbs. So imagine me, I'm actually a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I used to get a lot of flack. Imagine me, a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I just come out there and let's say Kansas City is about to play the Chiefs, and Kansas City's record is 0-8 at
They're
the
the same
time.
team. The Kansas City can't play the Chiefs, bro.
I mean, damn, Jesus Christ. Kansas City, the Chiefs are about to play the Steelers. Here we go again. What did I say? Every Saturday and Tuesday. the Chiefs are. All right, good night, y'all. That's the end of the show. No, y'all know, that's when you know I'm in my bag. I had my old Milwaukee. Y'all know I cracked my old Milwaukee. I'm sitting when the Kansas City.
I was trying to sneak a pancake in my mouth, man, and then you said that. I'm like, damn, I almost choked.
Almost had my brother choke. When let's just say when the Chiefs play the Steelers, the Chiefs are 0-8, Steelers are 8-0. Let's just say they played earlier in the year and the Steelers beat them 45-0, right? And I sit out there in the middle of Fifth Avenue. That's a main street in downtown Pittsburgh. I sit in the middle of Fifth Avenue. I got a red and yellow table, my red and yellow hat, and I'm like, look, y'all don't understand. Ben Roethlisberger had indigestion the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He had indigestion. The Steelers are going to lose to the Chiefs 75-0. Please believe me. Even Antonio Holmes, who's no longer on the team, Antonio Holmes said that Ben Roethlisberger had indigestion. The Steelers are going to lose. You're going to sit there and say, well, hold on. But there's other factors. Number one, it's just indigestion. It has no connection with the guy being able to throw the football. And then there's other factors. We saw him in the training facility yesterday. He said he was fine, and then after he said he was fine, we went to the practice and saw him throwing 60-yard bombs and stuff like what are you talking? You see what I'm saying? So I put that crazy scenario out there to exemplify what we're seeing in the stadium community right now. Y'all are saying this rhetoric that doesn't have the evidence that back it up. And my caution to y'all is don't look at us like the fanboys because we'll tear Stadia a hole where we need to. Storm and I have did it over Sirius Sam. Like, what the hell is this? Come on, y'all.
I'm glad you said it.
Come on, y'all. What is we doing
Dirt
here,
5. Dirt 5. Like, yo, this is
Dirt
not
5,
cool.
like, come on, y'all.
Don't buy this game right now. Don't drop your 60 now if it goes on sale. That's what I'm saying to people. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, like, come on.
Don't
y'all.
drop your 60. I dropped my 60 because this is me. You might not want to do that, though.
Yep. But that's what we said to people. We said, come on, y'all. What is we doing here? What is this? Right? And when we said that, we and then me with the whole SG&E when the comment first came out, y'all know how I do. I was like, yo, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? And we talked about it for about a week, right? So that's my thing, y'all, is that y'all got to remember that we keep it real where it has to be real, but there's a borderline. There's an out of bounds line. When the facts don't match the rhetoric, we keep that in a different space. We're trying to give y'all factual information and put all that factual information on the table. If there's a discussion to the side, Storm, that Stadia is going to stop being a video game company and they're going to sell nothing but crayons, you're allowed to have that discussion. But it's not based upon any facts that we have present that, you know what I'm saying, that connect to anything fathomable. So we're not putting that out there on the table. We want to put out there for that gamer that I showed that tweet of that was confused. Is Stadia dead or not? What's going on, Stadia? For that gamer, we're putting the facts out there for them, along with the pros and cons, for them to make a reasonable decision that best suits them.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Once you're done, there's a good conversation happening in the chat, and I want to throw these concerns your way. We got a shout out to Cesar Perez, man. Thanks for joining us. Cesar Perez in the building. They're having a discussion, and I want to go up. He said something about xCloud, right? Which I agree with. xCloud can definitely do big things. They're playing the long game too. So, like Stadia, they are playing the long game. Then he goes down to elaborate and say, not yet. He's talking to, I'm not sure who he was talking to, but he said not yet because the console is their bread and butter, which is true. But they ain't stupid, right? They making sure that they are in the business of cloud gaming to be ready for the future.
Yep.
Caesar understands that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what I like. Now, if we go down here, we got Sean L and somebody else having, I think, Makers of Chaos, maybe. Makers of Chaos says, let's see, because it was important. It was something about SG&E closing and stuff.
Oh, he said closing something before it can come to fruition is never a good thing. We didn't say it was a good thing.
And then he said SG&E should definitely be seen as a negative. And we've been on record to say it's not a good look several times. Now, no. But see, Makers is in here supporting us all the time. So this right here, we're just going to include him. Yeah, we're just going to include him in the conversation, y'all, because this right here needs to be there. And Sean L asked a question that really made me stop you. But is it really a negative? Damn, like that right there, I thought was some good dialogue.
That's some great dialogue. Yes, it should be seen as a negative because it was a negative because I think the lesson. I mean, look, I'll say it like this, Storm, and I say this to my kids all the time. Sometimes bad things happen for good reasons. Right?
That's what Sean's trying to say, I think.
Exactly. Like my daughter, I talked about this on a prior stream. My daughter just went and bought a car she had no business buying. Got herself in all types of trouble, came knocking on her, Dad, Mom, help me out. And I told her if she don't get her ass away from my door, I'm going to kick her ass away from my door. I told you not to buy that damn car. And then she came back and she said, Dad, I traded the car back in. You were right. I just want you to know, Dad, I love my she's like my wife. Her and my wife, they love their trucks. They love to sit up high. You know, a lot of women love to have their trucks and sit up high and take over the road. And she's like my wife. Yep. So she said, Dad, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. You know, this, that, and the other. And then we worked on getting her a better vehicle that suits her needs. That's still flashy, but suits her needs, right? So, with that said, it was a bad thing that happened, but it ultimately led to a good thing that it educated my daughter. Yeah. In a very in a profound way that's going to benefit her for the rest of her life. The same thing with SG&E. It was bad because I was even questioning about it. Like, why y'all opening the studio now? But I said, y'all must have some plan or y'all got it figured out. It was a bad thing to get Jade Raymond, Shannon Studd still, pulled them from where Aaron Hoffman. It was a bad thing to get these individuals together, give them hope that they were going to build something lucrative in the long term to take it away. And not think that through thoroughly before you push the button.
Now, hold on, because we did get excited about that. Naturally, we're going to get excited about that move, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're getting excited about it because we're like, well, you must understand that, A, you need to have enough money to get the big ticket games. Y'all understand that. And you got enough money to support this in the long term. And it was apparent that that wasn't the case. So by them realizing, hold on, we got to make sure first and foremost that we get the big ticket games first. And SG&E is tying up that effort. Okay, it's a bad thing. We got to close this down, but ultimately it's a good thing for the greater good of the platform. So to Maker of Chaos, I get your point. It was a bad thing. We spoke about it negatively, but it's something that's going to benefit the platform for the rest of its existence if they handle it right. And by now they are handling it right. The platform, look, there's nothing deniable about this. Y'all, now, as far as I'm concerned, this ain't up for debate. I'm sorry. Stadia and its offerings and the fidelity and everything is better than what it was before SG&E closed down. I'm sorry. You weren't getting nothing from SG&E for 5 years now. Jay Raymond told you that.
Yep.
And look at these games that are dropping. Look at Madden. Look at you know what I'm saying? Look at FIFA.
Let me interject. And people we know in our community, as rabid and great as they are about their games, right? You know what I'm saying? They would have been asking every goddamn month, when is the big exclusive coming? Facts. What is SG&E up to? It is a gift and a curse, a blessing at the same time. Go ahead.
Tell me about. No, you're right. Can you imagine if Outriders was coming to Game Pass and it still wasn't day and date, and they might as well not release the game, and it wasn't coming day and date to Stadia. Like these NIS America, Phil Spencer for the greater part of the last 5 years has been trying to get a significant amount of Japanese games back on PlayStation. I mean, back on Xbox, and just like that, they're on Stadia. Not on Xbox. You can't tell me this platform just ain't better. It ain't a better as far as what you're getting tangibly. So Yes, I think Maker of Chaos and Sean L. I think they're both right. They're having a great discussion in the chat. You
Man, hit that button hit that damn like button for the chat, man. Hit that damn like button don't hit it for us, hit it for that chat, man. Biddy Bop, we see you in the building. What's going on, bro?
Bibbidi Bop and Stadia Rev says Judgment, Outriders with Stream Connect. Yes, all that. It's just a better product. Makers of Chaos and Sean L, y'all are both right. You got to look at that decision to pull the trigger on that so early negatively, and you look at it negatively to say, I hope they learned from it. And by all intents and purposes, it looks like they've learned from it. They learned what is going to make this platform grow and get it into many households, which we want, right? Isn't that the biggest complaint storm, that A, we don't have enough games, and B, there's not enough people playing them? Those are the two number one complaints.
Especially B. Exactly. Now the thing is, the shift is the multiplayer. Now multiplayer has always been an issue. We've talked about it, MM. I told you about Madden. I said, yo, man, I'm kind of concerned about Madden right now because I know that the multiplayer thing, and a lot of people don't play American football, you know what I'm saying? NFL football, right? So I was concerned about those numbers, but at the same time, I bought the game knowing that, for one, it was on sale. Two, is Madden. You know what I'm saying? So I still got access to it. I can still call you up and say, Moss, let's play a game right now for the people. I'm going to beat you 85-0, but let's do it. And we can make that happen, MM. So that's why I don't really hold that much. I get what people are saying when it comes to that stuff, man. But it don't really stop me from enjoying the platform. You get what I'm saying?
Shout out to Zero Games for me. And again, when I call y'all, I'm not doing it to pick on y'all. I just want y'all to put things in full perspective. He says he's responding to Bippity, and
yeah,
because Bippity's like, look, man, it's a game of attrition. It had to happen. And Zero Games for me is like, well, they should be able to do both. And here's the problem with that. Y'all are just simply looking at the money and saying they should be able to do both. Microsoft has been one of the richest companies since they came in this game. And they weren't always able to do both. Its most successful generation, the 360 generation, they closed down pretty much all of their damn studios. They pretty much, their first party production went to a screeching halt, except for Bungie. And at the end of the generation, when they wasted a whole bunch more money on Kinect games. That, again, was successful at first, but then really, didn't help the Xbox One at all. So, you're talking about a company that tried to bite off more than Xbox even tried to chew when it launched. So, no, just because you got a bunch of money don't mean you can do both. Xbox wasn't even able to do both, even in their most successful generation. They had to close down a bunch. I'm telling y'all, man, whether you like Jason Schreier or not, I urge y'all, pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. That's all I ask you to do. You ain't got to agree with him, M2K, but please, I think a lot of y'all were not around at that time, or y'all weren't in gaming at that time, or y'all weren't in Xbox gaming, because a lot of this would make a lot more sense to you. Pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and you'll get a much better perspective. All right.
Well, I tell you, man. Hey, fun one, hell of a show. Chat couldn't do it without y'all, man. Shout out
Aminar with the $2 sticker. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this right here is what it's about, MM, and it's giving me a clear idea of what I really want to do, man. When I make my move, bro, I want to involve these people, man. I really want to involve these people in a discussion that can be like, you know what I mean? Just like a good, natural discussion, man. Yo, I'm thinking this right here, y'all. Keep on doing it every single week. That's what I like.
Absolutely. Happy Cloud Gaming also says none of us will have a monopoly in cloud gaming. Let's let Stadia. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Happy Cloud Gaming. I want all of them to succeed in it. And if there's anything that's what I'm saying. The Xbox people that I want to listen to are people like Dark 6. Those who had no need. Did I say Dark 6? Dark 1985.
You said 6, and I said shout out. I was trying to cover you, man, because see, Doc might be listening, bro. People listen and they clean, they listen and they drive, they listen and they play games. Bro, man, you got to do a little better, man.
He said, I'm tired of this fool. Dark 1985 said, look, man, he had he gains nothing for praising Stadia. Just like id Software gained nothing for saying Stadia is going to be a concrete future in gaming a few weeks ago. id Software, owned by Microsoft, said that. He gains nothing from this. When he picked up Stadia, he said, oh my God, This is beyond my wildest dreams, and I need Stadia to succeed. He gets the big picture. Listen, I get it if the evidence supported it, but the evidence don't support doom and gloom. This thing is going to fail and die and destroy and crash. It don't support that. So he's like, yeah, we need all of these things to succeed. And and ultimately, that is the grand scheme that these cloud platforms should be looked at. So,
man, let's do an overtime highlight real quick.
Yep.
If you're not, whenever you're done, I got to do a Bibbidi Bop, man. I got to highlight that before we wrap.
Go to Doc Dark and check out his videos.
All right. Yo, Bibbidi Bop, Moss, real quick, man. I know it's time to roll, y'all. Look at Amazon. They are wasting so much money on trying to make first parties, right? Maybe Stadia saw how much money they were wasting and said, let's just get games and do 2 to 3 per second and third party deals.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's the thinking that I'm on.
Games for me said they should be able to do both. No, you can't. If you don't have a revenue stream, like, look, y'all forget the whole the investor aspect of it. Us as the consumers are not the end state when it comes to a Fortune 500 company. Y'all should know by now, because I said it 1,000 times on my MM2K channel on here. The end state is the investor. We're just a catalyst to get to that investor. So if the investor says, hold on, you're bleeding X amount of cash, but what money are you bringing into that sector? That doesn't bode well. That's why Xbox couldn't look. When Xbox was doing its thing where it was bleeding billions of dollars into gaming, their stock price was heavily underwater in its business sector, in the tech business sector. When Satya and Nadella took over and made them lean and mean and said, I will write you a check when you produce, the stock price within 13 months went up 170%. That's unheard of. But that's where these companies operate from. Y'all got to understand, pick up Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Y'all got to understand how this operates. So you can't sit there and say, well, you got a whole bunch of money to do this, to do that. If that business sector is not bringing in money, you can't do that because the investors are going to frown on that. And that's why Xbox stock price was bad and it rose 170%. This is a very competitive market now. CEOs are a lot leaner and meaner with how they operate. So you can't be a Google wasting money like how people were in 2000 and 2021. They just don't operate like that anymore. So yeah, even though you got the money to do both, it's not wise and it's detrimental to the health of your company, investment-wise, to do both.
Man, I love it. Hey, if you're ready to rap, man, we can go ahead and rap. It's hot when it's hot, man. I just want to keep on going, bro. But absolutely.
Damn. And y'all been patient with us, man. Hey, shout out to all of y'all doing the damn thing. Love you guys. You know, this is y'all are the greatest chat in the world, man.
Man, they get the momentum pumping, man, the blood boiling and stuff, man. They just made me think about Phil Spencer. Moss, I got a question, man. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Phil Spencer was talking when he first came in the game about it. It didn't seem like he was so heavily sold on first party games at the time. Now, it could have been that Sony was just kicking them in the chin. It could have been at the time that they were conceding to PlayStation at the time, but you remember all this dialogue that was happening when Phil was kind of like trying to just gauge how people what their interests was it seemed in first party exclusives. But do you think that at one point he was contemplating, hey man, there's a new shift here that we foresee, exclusive games? Or I know he was thinking about it was a talk about exclusives and there was a talk about single player games versus multiplayer games and all that, right?
Yep, you're right.
But I'm just thinking now that Amazon, because Bibbidi just brought that up, what are these companies that are going to follow suit? Because it's a copycat world, man. When it comes to gaming, it's a copycat league like the NFL, right?
Yep.
Can you see Amazon saying, hold up, let us pump the brakes too? Or, you know what I mean? Because I know it's too late for Xbox. They're not going to do that. That's not in their cards.
Well, Xbox is making money now. Xbox is making they're making buku money. Again, in the year where Sony had its best year in 24 years, they made $16 billion off that year. Microsoft had its critically worst year. Remember, Sea of Thieves was a laughingstock. And Sea of Thieves didn't really become a hit until late that year and majority the following year. the year that it launched, right?
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people that forget about these numbers. They don't remember these numbers. So what Xbox was able to do is still make money despite the fact that they were, being slobber knockered all over the place.
Right.
Amador in the chat with all this. I know Amador. I know you love Xbox. I know you love them. And look, Xbox is making a lot of money. So I really
But what about on Amazon? Like, do you see they canceled? Hey man, you know what I'm talking now. They canceled a game.
That's why I want to be careful in saying this, because I just rattled off about Xbox doing, being lean and mean. Amazon don't have that concern because Amazon goes over. See, not only are they a tech company, they're in so many business sectors, so they're different. They're really an outlier to this whole thing, and nobody else can operate like an Amazon because Amazon is in consumer products. They're different. They're just completely different. So Amazon is an outlier. So I see Amazon keep trying. They may keep trying. As long as their competitors in the sectors that they cross over in are trying something, they're going to keep trying until it becomes too much of a failure. Like if nobody's into it, then they'll be like, okay, all right, well, we're going to stop. Amazon's an outlier.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. G Millie had to
yeah, G Millie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn.
Let's get to him. Let's get to G Millie. Oh man, we're gonna close out with this. Hold on, G Millie. Fresh. And check us out on PNTSnetwork.com for the latest and greatest in gaming news. All right, so let me do this real quick so y'all can hear the audio. Where the hell is my voice meter? Okay, there goes voice meter. Something like this. Make sure that the audio portion is off. Okay, let's play G Millie on right now.
Yo, what up, guys? Sorry about the noise. I'm at work. Just want to let you guys know.
Oh, that's an older one. Let me get his newer one. Here goes his new one.
Just got out of the shower, but I still wanted to record the Yappa, that Dragon Quest 11 game. Fucking off the hook. Play that shit. And I stand by. Stadia had more games at launch than Xbox Series S and the PlayStation 5. Bye, homies. Yo.
Shout out to G Millie.
Nobody does it better, man.
Oh man. For getting out of the shower and just killing it, man. That's my brother.
What I'm saying? If y'all think y'all can get at G Millie on the Yappas, man, right now he's the king of the Yappas, man. Y'all try to get at him. If we feel we could do a vote, man, who got the best Yappas or something, I don't know.
Well, we kind of put the giveaway on pause right now because we want to lump the giveaway in with something, and we want to make it more lucrative because we got a big reveal coming, Storm. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say too much. We got a big reveal coming soon.
And I also got a new Premier Edition coming soon. I have two in this crib. Two in this crib, ready to ship or something, man. I don't know. We might throw it in there, but I be waiting. Yo, I'm a hoarder. I want all my Premier Editions, bro. Hey, Moss, if something happened to my Founders Edition, I got a Premier backup. If something happened to my backup Premier, I got a backup to the backup.
Backup
Premier,
to the backup.
Man.
Zero Games for me said that G Million should get a Only's fan account. Oh man, yeah. Hey, look, so it's going to be lucrative. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make it a lucrative giveaway. It's going to be a big shebang. We got a reveal. We actually got two. Me and Storm was talking before the show, and we're about to hit 2 milestones. We got 1 milestone that's right around the corner. We got a second milestone. Storm knows what I'm talking about, where we're going to give y'all the number on something once we get to this number. And we're going to have another giveaway to help support that and get that even further. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely be talking about that soon, but definitely stay tuned. And if you leave Yappas, like we said, any yappas, any comments, any phone calls that you've left all year, it's going to count towards the giveaway.
Moss, man, we don't normally do the encore, man, but the chat was hot, man. It's still 37
Let's
up
do it.
in it. Hey, man,
And
we
got
never do the
Aminar again.
encore.
He said, let me see Aminar real quick. He said, I need to protect my investment on both Microsoft and Sony MM2K. I want my stocks to go up. So now, okay, we get the hate, brother. But go. I'm sorry, Storm. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying, bro, like for you to be doing the encore, man, you must be really feeling it today, man.
I know,
you must be feeling
And I
something
still
that's going
got
on
two
with this
pieces
chat.
of content to do. I still got to do my first look, and I still got to do channel talk, and I got to do that by the end of the day today. I'm gonna be all
Well,
talked out.
let's do it. I got to go check on my son and everything. Yo,
Oh, yeah.
y'all, I'm about to be I'm gonna be gaming it up in a minute. I don't know if MM2K is gonna bring y'all something. He just check out that hot ass content he just dropped the other day on the PC. It was on the PC, no, the PS5. PS5
yeah.
Outriders.
I love
Check
it.
that out. I went up in there, it was lit. I left a
Yeah,
comment
man.
and everything. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, you got to bring more to the people, man.
I know. We're going to do some more of that, definitely. Can't wait till Outriders coming. You'll see us on every platform. Check me out at MM2K videos. Storm, where can the good people find you at, my good brother?
Man, you can find me right here on YouTube. Right now, you can just put in Project Storm 8K. You'll see the logo. You know what I'm saying? You'll see the 8K, 4K gameplay videos. That's how you know it's the real Project Storm, you know? And you could also find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac when I'm always over there lurking while working like squid. And just staying, in tune to the streets and everything. I just gotta understand what people are saying out here. I like it. It's fun.
Absolutely. With that said, we thank y'all all, man. Thank y'all for the phone calls. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the participation in the chat, man. We love you all. Stay tuned. Stadia Dosage News members. I'm doing 2 pieces of content today. Directly after this, I'm going to do channel talk, and then I'm going to do my first look. I'm going to pick a game, and we're going to do that. With that said, thank y'all all. Till next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
See y'all later. Dirt 5.